Hello YouTube, and welcome to the channel. My name is Wojciech Piegza, and this is my Intensive Language Training Academy, a place where we focus on everything connected with human communication. In this series, we will be criticizing people respectfully, or correcting positions rationally, and sometimes a little bit of both. The first patient to receive this type of CPR is the self-proclaimed godfather of the Black Manosphere, Mr. Kevin Samuels. The first time I heard about Kevin was a couple of years ago from one of my corporate clients during our session. I told him directly that he cannot be short, bald, and fat and expect quality women to flock to him just because he has money. Then he told me that I sound just like Kevin Samuels. At that point, I was like,
Who?
Since then, I've done some research. I have consumed enough of his content to form an opinion. And I must admit, he's right about a lot of things. Because he's using research data and statistics. Allow me to give you 3 examples of what I mean. Firstly, whenever he says that most women want their men to be CIA, confident, intelligent, and assertive, he's right. And whenever he says that most men want their women to be FBI, feminine, beautiful, and inspirational, he's right again. I even used that in my recent episode 4 video. Secondly, he coined the term that most modern women are dudes. Delusional, ungrateful, in denial, entitled, and selfish. Pretty much. Trust me, I deal with them on a regular basis. But, if I may, in denial doesn't really begin with a D, and if you're delusional, you're automatically in denial. So just to make it more elegant, how about delusional, ungrateful, disrespectful, entitled, and selfish? There you go. And thirdly, his probably most important and greatest contribution to the conversation about relationships. Sign language. I'm not sure he coined this term, but he definitely made it popular. So whenever you're having a conversation with someone and they disagree, they will use shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. But don't think it's a problem of black women or black community in America. It's a global thing. Have a look.
We're really concerned about people being obese and representing something bad. You would take yourself off the air because you're not exactly slim yourself.
Well,
right?
okay, I'm 220 pounds and I'm 6'1", right? You're 5'4" and you're 380 pounds. So there is a difference. I'm not morbidly obese.
Right, but you're still
I'm
fat
actually reasonably
too.
healthy.
You're still fat
I'm reasonably fit. Well, you might think I'm fat. Most viewers are looking at this and think they're not seeing me as morbidly obese, right? So you're perfectly entitled to throw the jibes back at me.
But you're still fat. You being less
I'm not in
fat
Miley
than
Cyrus's
me
pop
doesn't
video.
make, you know...
I'm not in a pop video, am I? Extolling
But
the
you're on
virtues of my
TV.
body.
You're on TV. You're on TV every day.
So you think that me
You're
sitting
on TV
here
every
now...
day. You're going to tell me that...
You think, just to clarify, there is a comparison between me sitting here now, 6'1", 220 pounds. I am reflecting and celebrating a clinically dangerous level of weight, you think?
I think that if you were really concerned about glorifying obesity, you would take yourself off the air.
But I'm not obese.
And if you think that it's only women's problem, you would be wrong again. And you don't have to search far. Just look what happened between Ab and Preach and the 2 scamming goofballs that Kevin helped become famous. Fluke and Fraud. I mean, Fresh and Fit. The link is in the description. And now, what you all came here for. When Kevin Samuels is wrong. Very often in your videos, you mention only child syndrome, like it's a thing. It's not. Allow me to educate you. What do experts say about only child syndrome? Many psychologists agree that only child syndrome is probably a myth. Only children in today's urban and suburban culture have plenty of opportunity to socialize with other children, practically from birth, at daycare, at park, at playgrounds, in school, during extracurricular activities, and sports. Hey, even online. Psychologists also agree that many different factors help shape a child's character. And the truth is, some children are naturally shy, timid, introverted, and prefer keeping to themselves. They would be this way regardless of whether they had siblings or not. And that's okay. It seems that whenever an only child shows any type of negative behavior, others are quick to attribute that to only child syndrome. Yet, these negative behaviors can also occur among children in large families. So while psychologists don't deny that only children may be at risk for some social deficits, these traits don't occur across the board. If you are an only child, or if you decide to only have one child, you don't have to worry about only child syndrome. Many only children are kind, compassionate, and selfless people, who also have strong bonds with their parents. If you're concerned about the possibility of your child developing some negative traits, know that you can steer them in the right direction. Encourage interaction with other children at an early age, set limits, and don't overindulge them. Got it? Every time you're having a conversation with a single mother, you always ask the same question. Would she allow the stepfather to discipline her kids? Almost always the woman says yes. And then you ask a follow-up question. Would she allow the stepfather to whoop her kids? And many times the woman says no. And you treat it as some kind of a victory that proves your point. Well, sir, allow me to educate you about corporal punishment. Many studies have shown that physical punishment, including spanking, hitting, and other means of causing pain, can lead to increased aggression, antisocial behavior, physical injury, and mental health problems for children. Americans' acceptance of physical punishment has declined since 1960s, yet surveys show that 2/3 of Americans still approve of parents spanking their kids. But spanking doesn't work, says Alan Kasdan, a Yale University psychology professor. Quote, "You cannot punish out these behaviors that you do not want. There's no need for corporal punishment based on the research. We are not giving up an effective technique. We are saying this is a horrible thing that does not work." On the international front, physical discipline is increasingly being viewed as a violation of children's human rights. The United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child issued a directive in 2006 calling physical punishment legalized violence against children that should be eliminated in all settings through legislative, administrative, social, and educational measures. The treaty that established the committee has been supported by 192 countries, with only the United States and Somalia failing to ratify it. Let me simplify it for you. If your child understands the reason you're hitting them, then reason with them. If they don't understand the reason, you're just causing pain. That's an example of a really bad leadership. You want to be followed out of respect and not followed out of fear, right? Or even simpler, spanking is only for adults. And now my biggest criticism and my biggest problem. During his YouTube show, Kevin is using a soundboard. Most of the buttons are quite funny and creative, except one. I struggled how to interpret it, so I went to his Instagram to see how he deals with it without his full setup. And this is what I found.
Is that what? That's
Men
bad.
hit their financial stride when 45 to 55. So for class, so everybody understands, this is yet another woman, and this is what you guys have been taught, that you should find a young, rich man that you're attracted to.
You mean attracted to, right?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Just kidding. We all make mistakes. And I'm not a grammar police. But something happened few seconds before. So let's rewind it a little bit more and watch it again.
What? Wow.
And then what do these kind of men who make this kind of money, who are cardiac surgeons, personal injury attorneys, high-level financiers, high-level and companies and organizations. Oh, by the way, what's the oldest man you would consider dating? You're 28. What's your upper limit?
Probably like 7 years older than me.
7 years. 7 years.
What the French toast is this? Are you mad? Aren't you the image consultant? Aren't you the one who constantly keeps talking about the importance of ethnic image? Aren't you the one who's fed up with the image of a black man hitting his woman, and you blame the color purple for this? And yet you do something like that on a live stream. The fuck is wrong with you, man? Now, constructive criticism is only constructive if you offer a better solution. I'm from Poland. I have never played baseball, but I know the rules. So, if someone is rude, disrespectful, irritating, or annoying, how about you just say, strike one? If they continue, you say, strike two. If they don't change, strike three, and you hang up. And in real life, strike one, strike two, strike three, and you walk away. I think this is a lot more productive and civilized way of dealing with toxic people. Now, I'm not a hater. I want to believe that he's telling the truth, that he's planning to get rich by actually helping his community. I want to believe that his intentions are genuine and pure. Because I am trying to help. I emailed Kevin last year. No response, and that's fine. I'm sure he's getting hundreds, if not thousands, of emails per day. And I tried to offer him some kind of a cooperation, Because what he's doing on his YouTube show, I've been doing for years in my own company. And if you think that the problems he's discussing are exclusively black, nope, they are universal. Trust me, I've been dealing with similar issues almost every day. If I said that my channel is small in comparison to his, that would be a massive understatement. So if you want to give Kevin a chance to ignore, reject, or implement my suggestions, I'm going to need your help. Like, share, and maybe even send him this video, and we'll see what happens. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching.